Welcome to another exciting Jamaa News episode. I am Azure.
I'm Everything Alabella.
I'm dead.
Guys, I'm crying. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we just did that.
Oh, no!
I just started shaking so bad.
WisteriaMoon here.
Welcome to another exciting Jamaa News episode. I am Azure.
I am Everything Alabella. And Azure, can you tell us why this is gonna be one of our most epic, awesome episodes ever?
Yes, I can feel my heartbeat is reaching to 200. Let's not waste any time and introduce her.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your breath and get ready for the heart attack as we welcome our G Ambassador, WisteriaMoon. So, Wisteria, can you actually play Animal Jam Classic without a million jammers stepping on you?
Well, I have to tell you, it really depends on the moment, because if I go into a really empty server, then yes, but if I go anywhere where there's a bunch of people, someone inevitably shouts, OMG! And then the horde starts, which is pretty tragic, but it can be fun at times too.
You have been active on Feral. What do you think about Feral?
Honestly, I am a huge fan of Feral. I've been getting into it a ton recently. All my recent videos have been about it. I think that it's kind of like an upgraded version of Animal Jam because there's a lot more detail in the art style and there's a lot more customization options, so all of those aspects are really fun for me. It's kind of like taking from the Jam Classic but broadening it. So I love the game a lot and would highly recommend that anyone over the age of 13 give it a try.
Awesome! Girl is so pretty.
Yes.
What are the advantages of being a Jam Ambassador?
So there are definitely a lot of advantages. I would say the number one advantage is being able to prepare for the updates ahead of time and all the new things that are circulating around the land of Jamaa. That is definitely nice, and we also get a lot of heads up with the updates and like good explanations, because I oftentimes am the type of person that it takes me a minute to figure out what's going on in a game when it's first updated, but being a Jam Ambassador, they give us a full rundown, so that helps a ton, and I really love it. I think there are a lot of perks.
That's fantastic.
It sounds really fun too.
How did you come up with your username WisteriaMoon?
Okay, so this is a super weird story, and it doesn't really make that much sense, but I really wanted the username Blue Moon, and of course that was taken because obviously someone was going to take that username. So I wanted to try to come up with another word for blue, and normally you would think sapphire or even azure, like an actual color, or cyan, whatever. But for some reason I thought wisteria meant blue. Then later on I discovered it's actually like a flower, and it's not even blue, it's purple. So I don't really know what I was thinking, but at least it sounded pretty, so I kind of just stuck with it.
I think it's a really cool username.
Oh, thank you.
Can you share some of the best moments of Animal Jam with us?
Yeah, so I would say some of my favorite Animal Jam moments. It wouldn't necessarily be in the game, but more of the Jam Ambassador experience. I would say that was one of my best moments, going to VidCon with everyone, getting to meet other Animal Jam players and Jam Ambassadors and YouTubers in real life. That was honestly the most special thing to me, because it was just so surreal being able to get to know people in real life that you met online. Like, I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So being able to go to VidCon with everyone, also meeting up with fans at JamCon, that was crazy. We had this huge meetup with Julian Tu, Apari, Bepper, and myself, and I think even some other smaller Animal Jam YouTubers like Busness or Bruiser. We all kind of met in Boston and like had a bunch of fans come out and sign a bunch of autographs. There were like hundreds and hundreds of people. It was insane, but that was so cool. So yeah, overall my favorite moments with Animal Jam have kind of been offline, but would never have happened without the game itself.
So sweet.
Yes. We all have channels in YouTube, and video editing is very time consuming. How do you balance your normal regular life and the time you spend on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so that's always been a bit of a challenge for me, which is why I haven't always been % consistent on YouTube. There have definitely been times where I've had to take breaks that were a week or two, maybe even longer than that. And that's just kind of how it has to be, because sometimes when you have multiple things going on, you have to choose which you prioritize. But because I love YouTube and I love the Animal Jam and Feral communities, I would always try to budget in time where I could. And it was usually manageable because my college courses, they did take up a lot of time, but I still had time for other things. It was just during finals and situations like that where I'd have to take breaks from YouTube. But other than that, it was pretty easy.
Did you ever plan it out in like a planner?
No, I did not. I have not always been much of a planned person when it comes to my own personal channels and whatnot, just because it is something more that I like to do for fun. But I definitely use planners for other kinds of projects like school and stuff like that.
You have 2 YouTube channels, Wisteria Life and WisteriaMoon. What is your plan for those 2 channels, and will you be focusing on one more than the other?
Yeah, so I kind of try to maintain both of them at an equal level, but sometimes I focus on one more than the other depending on what kinds of videos I have planned out. So I'm trying to basically put an equal focus on both, but WisteriaMoon has been my priority in the past couple weeks because I've been really trying to push feral content, but I also do have another video planned for my Wisteria Life channel soon that I'm super excited for. So it's really just about balancing the two. And in terms of my future plans, for WisteriaMoon, I want to branch out into a couple of other games a little bit more. I've been exploring Feral recently, but I might want to do Animal Jam Mobile a little bit more on my channel, or Play Wild if you haven't caught up to the new terminology. And I also might want to try doing a couple more vlogs on Wisteria Life, but that's the general gist of things.
Well, that sounds very exciting.
Yes, I can't wait for those videos to come out.
Me too.
Is making YouTube videos going to be your full-time job?
No. So right now I'm currently in the interview process with a company, so I'm hoping that works out. But if not, I still am planning on getting a full-time job in digital marketing. But YouTube is always going to be my side job, I guess, because you do get a little bit of ad revenue and whatnot, but I don't really plan on making it a full-time job just because it can be a little bit inconsistent revenue-wise. So I would rather have a full-time job and get that work experience in. So that's really what I'm looking forward to right now.
Following your Instagram, we noticed that you recently graduated. Congratulations. Can you tell us what you studied and which school you went to? And how was college life?
Yeah, of course. So I actually went to the University of Connecticut and I studied digital media and design, which is kind of like digital marketing, but they teach you a ton about social media marketing, web design, animation, motion graphics. It's really a hybrid program in the digital media field. So that was a really awesome experience. I loved my major, I loved my studies, and it kind of inspired me to go into digital marketing as a career. So that's really what I'm trying to enter into.
That's awesome. Being so successful in the Animal Jam world at a young age, how did that affect your daily life as a teenager or kid? Would you do anything different? And do you have any advice to young fellow jammers who want to follow in your footsteps?
Yeah, of course. So this definitely had an interesting effect on my life. I wouldn't say it changed my daily life too much, but I did learn a lot of life lessons, I guess you could say, pretty early on, mostly about how to protect yourself online, because you definitely run into a lot of unexpected situations when you're a young person on the internet. I guess kind of how to manage online friendships and social interactions, how to have an online presence, and make sure that you stay on brand and appropriate, because that was another thing. I had a lot of young followers, and that was a responsibility as a young person, because you don't even necessarily know the line sometimes between like what you're supposed to be putting out content wise. But I think I did a pretty decent job. I mean, I learned pretty quickly. So yeah, it definitely had an effect on me. Would I do anything differently? Not necessarily. I feel like I had a really good experience. I guess if I could change anything, maybe I would have put out more videos, just because sometimes I would find myself in a little bit of a video slump and take breaks, but maybe I could have been a little bit more consistent at times. But that's probably the only thing I would change. Maybe that and branching out a little bit more of my content earlier on, because that also could have been interesting. There would have been a lot of potential with Roblox and stuff like that. But, since I've been doing it mostly out of passion, I do think that following my heart was a good move. And that's kind of leading into what I would recommend for younger players in the community. I would say that if you're trying to start out on YouTube, definitely focus on your passions, because if you don't, then you'll burn out. Find the kind of content that you love to make that makes you feel happy and you feel fulfilled. Don't get caught up in the numbers right off the bat, because it's more about what you can do in a sustainable way than just putting out content for the sake of it. Do what makes you happy, follow your heart. If you feel like you need to take a break, don't be afraid to, because honestly, it's probably going to make your content better than forcing yourself to put out things that aren't good. And aside from that, if you want to get into the technical stuff, you can always look to other YouTubers and content creators as guides for what you might want to do. And I'm not saying to copy anyone, because I very much do not believe in that. I believe in originality, but you can take inspiration from other content creators and people in the community. And you can also collaborate and make friends with them and develop your own little community, which is really nice. So those would be my main tips for people starting out.
That is great advice. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your website?
Yeah, of course. So that website was originally made to be a hub for everything related to my YouTube channels. Well, both of them actually. But it has changed a little bit over time into more of a merch-based website, because I did have some fan-related content on there before and a blog, but I found that those weren't too manageable. So now I've kind of shifted over to it just being a merch website and a place to find my contact information. But now I'm kind of doing a new thing with Discord so that I can connect to fans through there instead. And I found that to be a lot more effective, because it's a lot more organized and I've been able to have people help me. Whereas on the website, it was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of me doing all the work and it was a lot to manage, and yeah, it was kind of a pain. So with Discord, I've definitely found that to be a lot better of a place to interact with fans and host giveaways and contests and all the stuff that I was originally going to do on my website.
Your server has been so much fun.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm really glad that you like it. I feel like it's been fun too, honestly.
I love it with like the little giveaways that have been going on, and the rules are really neat too.
Yeah, I've definitely had a lot of help launching it, but I'm really grateful to have a good staff, because they definitely helped me figure out all the ins and outs, and now it's been really fun.
Do you have any funny Animal Jam stories to tell for our listeners?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this one a lot, and honestly, I have so many hilarious, weird Animal Jam stories. The thing is, they vary. There's like a lot of variation in how funny some of them are to me versus how funny they might be to other people. To me, one of the funniest things that's probably happened on Animal Jam is that I made this account called Sneaky. I think it was called Sneaky Beaky. It was when I was going undercover and kind of messing with like role players, or like, I don't know, just Animal Jam people in general. And then the account got hacked. Well, I guess now looking back on it, I did show all my account creation information in the video, so that's probably why it got hacked. But yeah, that person kind of went on a rampage and started like just, I don't even know, doing a bunch of random stuff on that account, and everyone got so confused because they thought it was me. So that was kind of funny, but also kind of bad. Another thing that I find really funny is that when I started doing like den trolling and saying I'm WisteriaMoon in my den, like for a while there were just like hundreds of people that would just come to my den and pretend to be me, but then they could never actually prove it, and it would cause so much drama. And yeah, I'd receive emails about it, comments on Instagram and YouTube. There's been a lot of dramatic things that have happened, to be honest, but it's just part of the game and it makes it fun.
Animal Jam can definitely be very interesting.
Oh yeah.
I honestly should check out those role players at some time, honestly, because I haven't been very active in like the role playing area of Animal Jam that much.
Same. I've never been a part of a clan, but I kind of feel like I'm missing out. So maybe I need to do that someday. But undercover, of course.
Yes.
Never been part of a clan? How do you play Animal Jam?
I don't know.
I don't
Remember in the forest, like the clans would fight?
Oh, yes, beautifulness.
slices with sword, no nothing.
Yes. Wisteria, I believe that you were here like since almost the beginning in Animal Jam. So that means you have also been here when the headdresses came out. So what do you think of headdresses?
Oh yeah, I definitely have a lot of thoughts on that. So I actually joined the game in late November of 2011. So I think they might have already been out by that point, but they were not as rare. So they were kind of like an intermediate rarity item. And I always loved them. I was literally obsessed with them. I thought they were super pretty, and I also feel like all the cool people wore them. So I always wanted them, but they were a lot easier to get back then. So I actually got the whole collection of headdresses. And yeah, that was like literally not that big of a deal at the time when I got them. It was a little bit of effort, but it wasn't like that much because they were a lot more common. Well, even though I got the whole collection, when there was this whole Mighty Squad hacking drama, which is so old now. This happened in like 2015. But yeah, some literal hacker went on my account and took all my headdresses. But luckily, with a lot of effort, I got them back. Now, I could never do that because they are just way too hard to get now. I feel, aren't they worth like 20 black long collars? Like, I literally only have like 2 long black spiked collars. So I would not be able to get any more now. But luckily, I have the full set, and I'm just holding on to them for dear life because I think they're very aesthetically pleasing, even if they are overhyped a little bit.
I think the solids are actually going down. That means the headdresses are rising like really up. And according to the wiki, the light pink headdress is worth about 50 black long collars and usually more.
Oh my gosh, that is so many.
I know, they keep going up and dropping. It's so hard to trade for anything.
This is why I literally gave up on trading in this game. I haven't attempted to legitimately trade in years. Like, I pretty much gave up trading after I got my pearly tiara, to be honest.
I don't even know what half of the rares are in Animal Jam, honestly. So goodbye trading.
I know, it's really sad. I have like no concept of rarity in this game anymore. I mean, I have like a rough idea, but it's changed a lot. And there's also nothing that I want that I could afford. Like, the only other thing I would want in this game is a Milky Tiara. And unless I trade my pearly, I'm not getting that. So I'm pretty much fine with where I'm at. But that's another reason I switched over to Feral, because there actually is a lot more that you can trade for in that game, which is really fun.
I feel like anytime I go trading, I always end up messing up really bad.
Yeah, it's really difficult, especially on Animal Jam these days, which is upsetting because I used to love trading on this game, but you know, now it's just fun to be able to decorate looks in my den and stuff. And luckily, you don't need like super amazing items to be able to do that.
How did you come up with like your main look? I'm honestly not that creative, and I believe if like I couldn't create like such an amazing look like you. So like, how did you create it?
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Well, basically, I don't know what inspired. Well, okay, so I guess it started with the pink and brown top hat. I felt like that top hat was extremely unpopular in a lot of main looks because, yeah, basically top hats were like super popular in the old days of Animal Jam, and then just no one wore the pink and brown top hat because it was considered to be like one of the worst colors. But I thought that the pink and brown theme was kind of cool. It reminded me of like Neapolitan ice cream. So I decided to make a whole look out of it, and I just found other items that matched and also fit the wolf really well, and I kind of just went with it. And it's really funny that it ended up being like such an iconic look because I wasn't expecting it. I mean, I think if I actually thought I would get popular, maybe I would have had like a bad look, but I don't know. No, it's unique at least.
Were you ever on the Epic Den list?
I think I might have been on it once, but I really don't remember. I definitely think I was on it once, but it wasn't like it might have been like Animal Jam HQ intentionally giving it to me or something because I'd never gotten it. But it's not something that's happened really that often, which is sad because I put a lot of effort into my dens, but I feel like they just pick completely random people sometimes.
Me too. It can be like such a goal though to spend so much time in a den and try to get on the list.
I know.
I don't know if Animal Jam specifically specifically has a staff to maybe pick out the epic gems, but like, I don't really know, honestly.
Yeah, I wish I knew what their process was. I mean, I think they definitely need to have a staff member to do it, but I don't know. It's just impossible because for them, they can't really tell. Like, they have to manually visit all these dens probably, so it might be hard for them to tell which ones are the best. So yeah, that's probably why it seems mostly random.
Yeah, I think they should come out with like a list of guidelines if you want to get on the list of the epic dens on what you have to have, or if you could even submit your den. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes. Have you ever been able to like fully clean out your jamograms without a ton of people like spamming you while you're doing it or like lagging you?
Yeah, so cleaning out my jamograms, right now they're not even clean. I mean, honestly, they're just kind of permanently locked now. Back in the day, I really couldn't because as soon as I would delete a jamogram, a new one would come. Ever since they introduced the option to lock your jamograms, it's been better because technically I can clear it out. But they do glitch a lot and it just takes an excessive amount of time. So I kind of just have this whole pile sitting there and I might clean it out again and then like reopen it for like a couple minutes on a live stream or something. But I just know the second I open it, it's gonna be a whirlwind.
How long does it usually take for them to full up?
I mean, it depends on the moment. Like, I'm sure if I cleared it all right now and then unlocked my jamograms, it might take like a couple of hours or maybe even a day or so for it to fill up because people aren't gonna be checking on my jamograms that much. But if it were in a live stream, oh my gosh, it would probably only take like 5 minutes at most.
Oh wow.
Because people have to be sending me like message jamograms. Like, it wouldn't be all like gifts or anything, but like it would just be a lot in general. I know that for a fact.
How did Animal Jam select you as a Jambassador, and did they send you like the plushies without like a notice or anything?
Yeah, so for becoming a Jambassador, I'm pretty sure one day we were all just added to a Slack channel, and that was kind of or maybe we got an email. Actually, maybe we got an email. It was me and 8 other YouTubers, I believe, or maybe 7. It's been so long now, I hardly remember. Yeah, I actually feel like we got an email about it, and then they added us to a group chat on Slack, and then there were 8 of us originally, and then they added another wave, and then a third wave, I think. And in terms of the plushies, they definitely let us know ahead of time because they wanted us to be prepared, and they also sent us like a package. So that was something that we were aware of and was very much like a discussion before it happened. And then when they actually came into the game, it was like, it's pretty cool, honestly. We were really excited for them.
Have you ever actually seen a Shop King plushie? Because I have looked everywhere and I cannot find one except for on the wiki.
I actually have one. I have, I can put it on my trade list, although it's not showing up right now for some reason, which is very weird. Are you guys able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, my computer screen is just glitching.
Gosh.
But yeah, that's the Shop King plushie. Because we all got each other's plushies, so if someone wasn't giving them out, like at least all the other Jambassadors have a copy of each one, if that makes sense. So like I have every Jambassador's plushie, but I'm pretty sure the reason Shop King plushies are super rare is because he's been kind of like missing in action for a couple months, and none of us have really heard from him. So yeah, that's kind of why I think no one really sees his plushies, because he just hasn't been giving them out. And then all the rest of the Jambassadors that play, like for the most part, I don't think any of them are trading their plushies away.
Did you have a goal when you first started playing Animal Jam? Was your goal to try and get famous from the game?
Oh, not at all. I didn't really care about fame that much, but I really cared about rares, which is like kind of sad. But I really got addicted to trading, and like the first thing I really got into was plushies, believe it or not, because for whatever reason, when I first joined Animal Jam, like as a poor jammer, I really thought that plushies were the move. Like I thought they were the rarest thing ever. And then I started finding out about beta items, and then I was like, whoa, there's stuff that's even rarer than plushies. I was like shook. And then I found out that there was like this whole rare crowd that was like, I don't think you guys would even know the usernames, but there was like this player called Love Lost that was really like rare and popular, and she was a blogger. And then there was Snowy Claw, who also was like a beta player and a blogger. And then there was Wootmoo, who did like YouTube and like he also had a lot of stuff. So I really wanted to be in that crowd of people because I thought that's what would make you cool. And then that didn't really work out because I like quit Animal Jam for a while. But then when I came back, I didn't really care about rare items as much. Like I definitely did, but it wasn't the same. And so I was looking for a way to occupy myself or like to stay entertained besides trading. So then I decided to start making YouTube videos. And that was also partially an attempt to learn how to edit videos. And then when I started posting on there, like as soon as I posted my Brave short film, my channel kind of took off because that video randomly got really popular. So then I started to get noticed. It was like very weird, and I like kind of became famous, but it was just such a strange experience because I wasn't expecting it at all. I was just doing it for fun. But I guess it kind of worked out because it really changed my whole like goal with Animal Jam, which was to make like good quality content that people liked instead of just trying to trade. Yeah, Woot was definitely always a huge part of the Animal Jam trading scene. It's crazy.
But like, it's really sad how his den is like rarely ever full now. So.
I know. Mine used to be full all the time too, and now it's not. It's like all the famous YouTubers, like all of their dens are like empty now, but I think it's just because people aren't playing as much, maybe? I don't really know.
Maybe it's because the community is mostly teens now. There is not much of like a younger generation coming in that much, so maybe why.
That's a good point.
I think that after a bunch of the Jambassadors had announced that they were quitting Animal Jam, a very big part of the community had broken off.
Yeah, I agree. And it's really sad because the community means a lot to me, and it was just really hard to see everyone quitting. But at the same time, times do change, and that's why I'm just planning on adapting to it and rolling with it. And I feel like I don't want to quit, so I'm just not going to. I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and hopefully some people will stick around.
Yes. Have you joined any other Discord servers other than your Discord server?
Yes, but they're very random for the most part. I mean, the ones that you guys might know of are Animal Jam Archives, Feral Archives. Well, I guess they're in the same server. Yeah, the Archives server. I'm also in the Feral official Discord server, and what else? I'm in a couple others, but they're just not that known. I'm in like a Jambassador one, and I'm also in your Discord server, Jamaa News, and yeah, those are. Oh, and the Feral Wiki server, and the rest are just kind of like ones with friends. But the main one that I'm active in right now is my own, just because it turned out to be like relatively active. So I've been kind of talking a lot in there. And yeah, my main go-tos are that and the Feral official Discord server, which I mainly just use for trading, but I've made a couple friends through there too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. Yeah. It's really cool that like the member count is already to like 706 people and bots. So that's really crazy.
I know. I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting it to like have this many members. And if it did, I thought it was going to die out really quickly, but it ended up not. So I'm really happy about that.
It's fantastic, honestly. Your server is really nice and really friendly and everything. I feel like the slow-mo like annoys people somehow, but like I'm honestly fine with it because if like you're talking and stuff, people won't start like spamming like, oh my gosh, Wisteria auto please, something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's a little bit more balanced in there.
If you would like one of these WisteriaMoon plushies that were in the same den as WisteriaMoon, make sure you are subscribed to my channel, Everything Alabella, as well as Azure AJ's channel.
And WisteriaMoon's, of course.
Yes, can't forget her.
And leave a comment below to receive one of these WisteriaMoon plushies.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Jamaa News. As we said before, make sure you go check out Wisteria's channel and Azure's channel, as well as mine.
Thank you all so much for watching this episode, and we hope to see you as a guest as well in future episodes. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Azure AJ, Everything Alabella, and WisteriaMoon.
Also, don't forget to go and check out the other episodes of Jamaa News.
They're all down in the description below. Bye!
Bye.
Oh gosh. Oh, wait. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I know it's not real till I walk in the den, right? I really love the little WisteriaMoon plushie army you have set up.
I'm so sorry for the random giggles. I still can't believe this happened.
You're totally fine. Honestly, it is funny because it's not like I would look at myself like a celebrity, but also at the same time, if I were interviewing a YouTuber, like another YouTuber, I would probably be like, whoa, this is crazy.
I mean, when I was younger, you were one of the main YouTubers I watched.
Aw, thank you. I'm glad that you watched my videos. They're definitely crazy.
Oh my gosh, there's so many people.
There's nobody screaming WisteriaMoon.
Someone said, is she getting hacked?
Why do they think I'm getting hacked? This is just ridiculous.
I don't know how to feel right now.
So, Wisteria, we've got to know, did you ever have a crush on Julian2 or Apari?
Well, I don't want to ruin the secret, but well, I will say this much.